Chiptune is a really interesting thing, and I can't really go into super detail about it, but this soundscape is very much the soundscape of my youth, which also feels weird to say. When I was young, chiptune was all I knew. And so it's really interesting to go back to it in 2023 and listen to the importance of melody. Now, I don't know what Touhou is, but I find that the melody in here is particularly interesting, and I want to focus on that. I mean, that is actually exceptionally well thought out. Like, there are like 6 different things that occur in the first couple seconds of this. Check this out. Starts off right away. Bra-da. Do you hear the harmony? Ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum. So we have to ask ourselves, like, yes, this is all very interesting, but like, melody is the spice of life. We need melody in order to function. We need melody in order to care. I've listened through this piece twice now, and the thing that's really stuck out to me is how satisfying the melody is and how it actually aids me in helping me understand the character. I believe it's Alice in Wonderland. Maybe it's Mystic Square. I'm going to have a chat with the patron who asked me to record this. This is a really challenging piece for me to talk about. But melody is important. So right there, we've now had this melody like 5 different times. This is the crux melody of this entire piece. Do you hear how we started it with this melody and it's only repeated, but it's layered in such a way that even though it has repeated multiple times already, we as listeners don't necessarily pick up on it until right now in that main theme. Like, this is the main theme right now, but it's actually been played several times before. And what it does is it helps like stimulate our senses so that when we actually arrive at this moment where the melody is fully in our ear, now we have like a deeper rooted understanding and almost appreciation of it because we've been listening to it basically for the last 30 seconds. Look, and then it's in the upper register too. This entire track is built off of essentially 6 notes, built off of a melody on top of a melody on top of a melody. And now they're all layered and they're harmonizing, but they're the same musical structure. This is really interesting to me because it's tough to talk about. But musically, this is a very, actually pretty rich hamburger. And for you vegans out there, portobello mushroom burger. There is an inherent depth to the way that this harmony is layered on itself and layered on the way that it expresses the emotion that melody tries to express. There's an inherent feeling of not desperation, but of like trying to understand the mystery of life. It's weird how my brain contextually, even without knowing any context, and you don't have to know the context either, by the way, is going to different places that the melody makes me feel. And it's pretty cool how, regardless, let's say we're fighting some sort of giant ship, I don't know, and we're getting all the bullets are hitting at us, we can feel that desperation of desperately trying to dodge every single bullet because bullet hells, that's what makes them so challenging and difficult, right? And so we inherently are like, oh, na 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 na. So here too, we have this slowdown, which I find kind of interesting for a bullet hell game because you would assume that it would be consistently fast paced. But here we have this moment of bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-ya-da-da-da. I'm reflecting on the experience and I have to move forward. I think I'm onto something with the idea that this second phase and this entire song is actually the reflective theme of a character. And I don't know how this operates. I don't know how this works in context. And so it's interesting going into this kind of blind because it really does showcase a personality within music, but I'm not sure whose personality it is. Is it us as players fighting against whatever? Or is it actually a character that we're playing as, trying to make the journey from point A to point B and having to navigate this through line with this desperation and that spirit? Because that feels really poignant, especially in this middle section where it's like slow and plotty. Da, ba, da, ba, 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 da. What do I do? Where do I go? What am I supposed to be doing? Ah, you know, like... I like the hammering in there. So now we've got that melody back again. And I love the hammering because the hammering almost gives us a, like, emphasis to move forward and to push through. Da, bo, ma, cha, 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 cha. Keep going, baby. You can do it. This piece really shows that melody is a timeless and invaluable aspect of not only the human emotion, but the things that we need in order to feel. Rhythm without melody is essentially useless. Well, it's also nothing. But like melody is the thing that keeps us moving forward. Even in this chiptune style, we can extract feelings of gumption, frustration, anger, enthusiasm, motivation. Those are all things that are coming through to me from an emotional perspective without knowing any context and not even knowing what this game looks like. That's the beauty of melody. And that's why whether it's 1996, 1985, 1970, 2000, 2013, melody is the most paramount important thing that we can have in a piece of music. Earworms are everything. And this one is a pretty catchy one. Like right here. That sounds like a reflective sadness. That sounds like, what am I supposed to do? Like, how do I get out of this? And then the harmony, and then ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-bum. These are all reflective things. And then we're building, we're galvanizing ourselves. And then we're off again. And there's so many little fun little things in here. If you listen to if you isolate this really quickly, check this out. Ba-da-dum, 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 ba-da-dum. Listen to this. It's certainly very curious to me because I don't know Touhou. And so when I hear this, I feel It's a character theme, a character's ideology, a character's motivation, the sensation of pursuit, the desire to achieve, the willingness to push forward, even though there is enormous stress and pressure on a character. That's what I hear and that's what I feel. This is really interesting, and I actually feel it's incredibly complex, especially on the sound card and sound system that it's being written on. I would be curious to like hear this orchestrated, because I think that would sound really interesting. There's so much nuance in this piece. And yeah, it's kind of left me a little stumped. That said, the importance of melody is always ever present today, as it was then and as it will be for the future. Melody is everything, and a good, catchy melody will subvert any kind of limitations or, in the current world when it comes to technology. So as always, if you like the sort of stuff, feel free to like, subscribe, come support me on Patreon if you want to support the channel directly. And as always, thanks a ton, and I'll see you later. Bye.